Hello, welcome to the Manufacturing Academy. My name is Ray Harkins and you are watching the introductory video for this Udemy class titled Statistical Process Control. Thank you so much for stopping by to check it out. Let me tell you a little bit about the class. I've broken this course up into 5 major sections, each one building upon the previous. And the first section is called basically a general review of statistics, where I teach you some of the fundamental building blocks like measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion. These are the tools that you're going to need to move into further sections of statistical process control. Not only do I teach you how to do this quote on paper, kind of manually, but I'm also showing you in Microsoft Excel how to use formulas, how to kind of manipulate your spreadsheet to calculate these different measures, these different statistics. Now, the next section is called Pareto Analysis. Some people are familiar with Pareto Analysis. It brings together one of the 7 basic quality tools, the histogram, with something called the Pareto Distribution, and this has been around for probably 150-200 years. It's so-called the 80-20 rule, where there tends to be concentrations of different factors, whether it's money or problems or whatever. They tend to concentrate themselves into 2 or 3 small categories. So I'm going to go over the fundamentals of Pareto analysis, but if you're already familiar with this, please don't skip over, because what I'm going to do also is I'm going to introduce a powerful tool in Excel called pivot tables. If you haven't used pivot tables yet, I promise you're going to enjoy this section. I just introduced you to the topic. I don't give you a comprehensive overview of pivot tables, but I give you enough that you can begin breaking down large tables of data and categorizing that data into major groupings that will help you really sort out those significant few factors from the trivial many. And that's the whole basis of Pareto analysis. I give you some real raw data that I've collected for my career that you can practice on after the section is over, but I show you how to break it down using pivot tables. I show you how to apply the concepts of Pareto analysis, and then how to quickly make Pareto diagrams that work great for presentations or sharing with other engineers, technicians, other technical folks, sharing with your managers. These are great tools for explaining problems and prioritizing your efforts, your resources, your finances. That's what Pareto analysis is great at, is prioritizing the problems or defects within your organization. The third section is extensive, and it's titled Control Charting. And usually control charting is considered really the backbone of statistical process control, and it is a very important piece, but not the only piece, of SPC. So in this section, control charting, I walk you through 7 different types of control charts. I show you the technical aspects of them, how to use them, when to use them, how you might apply them. I show you how to do all of this in Excel, and then the most important part at the end is I show you how to interpret the results of your control charts. I show you things like trend failures and things called truncation and indiscrimination, and these are patterns that show up occasionally on control charts that would help you identify the root cause of some problems out there. So control charting is awesome, and I'm going to give you all the technical details, but I promise you the last section, the last 2 or 3, 4 lectures of that control charting section are the most powerful. If you can master interpreting control charts, you're really going to have a powerful tool in your repertoire. The next section then follows very closely with control charting, and it's called Process Capability Analysis, and it is a very effective set of tools for comparing analytically the natural course of a process to its engineering limits. If you're familiar probably with terms like CP, CPK, PPK, a lot of people are familiar with these, but I'll tell you, far fewer people can really understand what those capability indices are telling them. I've interviewed people, I've worked with quality engineers. Very few people can articulate clearly the difference between CPK and PPK. After this class, you're going to be able to do that. And some people throw out a short, one's short term, one's long term. It's so much more in detail than that. And when you can understand the difference between these indices and use them in conjunction with each other to paint a picture of the process you're analyzing, it's powerful. It will lead you to root causes. It will lead you to determine that a process is ready to launch or it's not. It'll pinpoint problems that you're having. So it's a powerful set of tools, and just like control charting, it's in the interpretation. And I spend, again, 2 or 3 videos in this section teaching you how to interpret the results of your process capability study. And then the last section I'm very excited about too. It's called regression analysis, and this is like a whole level deeper into statistics. If you haven't studied this in the past, I promise you're in for a treat. Regression analysis is a new tool set used for comparing 2 or more variables to each other and defining their relationship. If you work in manufacturing, you know that if you set a machine at a particular value, maybe a speed or a feed or something like that, you can expect a particular output. Maybe the weight of a product, maybe a surface finish, some characteristic will be on the product will be influenced by that machine setting. Well, what regression analysis does in that case is to define quantitatively that relationship. So I'm going to talk about things like correlation. I'm going to show you how to calculate correlation. I'm going to bring, just like all the other sections, I'm going to bring you right into Excel. I want to make this practical. I'm going to bring it into Excel, show you the formulas, give you the worksheets, show you how to not just calculate correlation, but then perform what is called a linear regression. That is the process of quantitatively defining the relationship between those 2 variables. And then I'm going to have a case study too, where I go even another layer deeper and talk about something called multiple regression, where you have 2 or more independent variables, input variables, and the regression analysis tells you the relationship between those multiple input variables to the output variables. That is a very powerful, extensive set of tools. And I promise you, I'm just introducing this concept to you. I'm giving you enough that you can perform your first regression analysis. You can start defining and using the output of your regression to make predictions about your process. When you get into that section, if you haven't looked at it before, I promise you, you'll be impressed. It's a fantastic set of tools. If you enjoy what you learn here, I promise you there's many more outlets for studying regression analysis. So that is a basic overview of the class. I've given you a ton of information, over 80 videos, all of the Excel worksheets that I use in this class you're going to get. I give you some cheat sheets and other notes and helpful things in the classwork. I give you some quizzes to make sure that you're on course. And like all other Udemy classes, you get one-on-one interaction with me. If you have a question or comment, send me a message through Udemy, and I answer all my messages in usually within a few hours, but I guarantee less than 24 hours. I love hearing from people. If you have a comment, question, you want to ask me something about correlation, I'd be glad to help you. I love hearing from people. It's a privilege to connect with fellow professionals like yourself. So I am available with your purchase of this class. You get a lifetime access to this material. I know that I've learned some things years ago, and it's familiar to me, but gosh, I can't wrap my brain around how to do it today. Guess what? 2 years from now, 3 years from now, come on back. You can watch the same video. Once you purchase the class in Udemy, it is yours. You can come back to it anytime, look at the spreadsheets, watch the videos, refresh your memory, and that is yours. And then, of course, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not happy, I don't know why you wouldn't be happy. It's a low-cost course, and you're getting a ton of material, but if it's not what you thought it was or whatever, you get 30 days, and if you don't like it, you get a full refund. So you have nothing to lose. Sign up, take the class. I promise you, I've brought 25 years worth of material, my work as a quality manager and ASQ Certified Engineer and other coursework and graduate studies I've brought all together into this one class for you at a low cost with lots of extras. So sign up for the class. I guarantee that you'll enjoy it. So thank you very much for checking out this video. I'd love to hear from you, love to interact with you. If you have any questions beforehand or after you take the class, just connect with me. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. God bless you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.